Hello, Times Crossword, let's go. Flowering plant, everyone cut round the edges. No. Persian prophet raised lightweight chicken for cooking. Nope. City shelter succeeded having Duke involved. This is Leeds. Leeds is a city in England. Shelter is Lee, as in the lee side of something. Succeeded is S, the abbreviation. Having Duke involved, well, involving D, the abbreviation for Duke. Restrain, obstinate beast biting a couple of Zulus. This is muzzle. Muzzle means restrain. Obstinate beast is mule. Biting or including a couple of Zulus. Well, Zulu is Z in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Now, Z must be helpful. Persian prophet raised lightweight chicken for cooking. This is Zoroaster. So Zoroaster is or was a Persian prophet. The lightweight is ounce, abbreviated to OZ. Raised is a reversal indicator, so that gives ZO. And chicken for cooking is a roaster. Flowering plant, everyone cut round the edges. Nope, still not getting that. Liable to pinch uncles or somehow. I wonder if liable to pinch is the definition and somehow is an anagram indicator for uncles or. We've got the R and the E. So liable to pinch, yes, that's larcenous. Inclined to larceny, which is robbery or pinching. So larcenous is liable to pinch and somehow is an anagram indicator for uncles or. Eggs on violent activists to begin with. This is ova. Ova is the plural of ovum, Latin for egg. And then to begin with indicates the initial letters of the three preceding words on violent and activists. Now, no more help with one down. Flowering plant. Yes, this is mallow. Mallow is a flowering plant, or must be. Everyone is all. And cut is mow. Round the edges of all. Figure, standing briefly at end of lane. This is statue. A statue is a figure. Standing is status. Briefly means without its final letter. At end of lane, well, the end of lane, or at the end of the lane, you've got the letter E. Elderly noblewoman's bet daughter unveiled at first during party game. No, not getting that. Alarmist in Greece mostly, involved with Romans. Involved with, I think, is an anagram indicator for most of the letters of Greece, i.e. all but the last, and Romans. So Greek and Romans, giving a word beginning with S and meaning alarmist. Scaremonger. Yeah, and this is alarmist as in the noun rather than the adjective. Unusually slim models see English girls in Paris. Wow, I want to put something like mesdemoiselles. Let me put that in. This could easily be wrong. Girls looks like plural. Maybe it's Maybe this is the spelling. I'm going to leave this in with a massive question mark because I feel this is approximately right, but it needs to be exactly right, and it will certainly help to get some corroboration. Heavenly food provided by male relative in vast continent. Heavenly food is often manna provided by male relative, son. Well, it looks... I wonder if this is ambrosia, which is also heavenly food, provided by male relative. Well, bro is a male relative, short for brother, in vast continent. Well, the vast continent is Asia, male is M, and relative is bro. Great, that corroborates the M of 5 down. 16 across. Old woman ditches union leader getting shot. No. In rundown environment. Finally keep fast. No. Sensational act clears up messes. So sensational looks like an anagram. Well, either sensational or messes are anagram indicators for act clears up. And the whole thing means either sensational or messes. I think sensational is more likely to be the anagram indicator. So an anagram of act clears up, which means messes. Nope, not getting that, unless it's... Well, no, it's not crepuscular, there's no T. But if it is messes, 24 down may begin with S. In Mauritius, ready to regret restricting exercise. So this is rupee. So ready is a reference to ready cash, as in money, and a rupee is or must be the money used in Mauritius. Regret is ru, restricting exercise, restricting PE, which is short for physical exercise. Now, I think 22 across is spectacular. And sensational or spectacular means sensational. And messes is the anagram indicator for act clears up. And by I think that's correct. Model. Former politician protecting key city transport. Well, former politician is an ex-MP. Protecting key, protecting E, one of the 7 musical notes, A to G. And then city is LA, Los Angeles. Transport is RY, short for railway. And then exemplary means model. Fantastic. We are getting some corroboration for 5 down, but I still don't feel great about it. I need to consider the non-crossing letters after we've got full corroboration. Tropical tree. Some accommodated in bar. This is banyan. So a banyan is a tropical tree. Some is any. Accommodated in bar. Accommodated in ban. Jam ingredient. Originally exported in copper container. Wow. Originally exported looks like a reference to the original letter of exported, which we have in copper container. Copper is often CU, but I can't see 29 across beginning CEU. And the jam ingredient is not coming to mind. Now, already looked at this. However, let me have another look because we have more letters. Elderly noblewoman, that could be a dowager. I'm putting dowager in. So, bet is wager. Daughter unveiled at first during party game. Party is do. It's going to end in a game. But what about the definition? Elderly noblewoman, a dowager something. Gosh, I must know this. Not coming to mind. So we're looking for daughter. I wonder if this is duchess. It surely is. A dowager duchess is an elderly noblewoman whose duke husband has passed. Bet is wager. Daughter is D, the abbreviation. Unveiled at first is the first letter of unveiled. During party, game. During do, chess. Fantastic. Okay, the board now, or the grid, split into two. Let me have a look at the bottom left. Presumptuous. President once, torn apart by conflict. Conflict, I'm thinking war. That would place a W in second place in 18 down. Not fair. Coach being out of sight of the house. Wow, not getting that. Pamphlet, cleverly put together in a manageable way. This is tractable. So a pamphlet is a tract. Cleverly put together, or cleverly is able. Put together refers to tract and able. And then tractable means in a manageable way. Okay, B, that looks useful in last place. 1, primarily relishing beer, bitter, this is acerb. 1 is ace, primarily indicates the primary or initial letter of the, in this case, 2 succeeding words, relishing and beer, and then acerb means bitter. Probably more familiar from the word acerbic. Welshman has change of heart, finding betting odds. Well, evens are betting odds. And the Welshman is Evans with an A, has change of heart, changes its heart from A to E, and that gives evens. Lamb, possibly. Try it without sauce initially. Gosh. So lamb could be a reference to the animal, the food, or Charles Lamb, the essayist. Aha. I wonder if this is why. 15 down. Pamphlet. Tract cleverly, ably, and then put together in a manageable way, tractably. So I think this is essayist. Charles Lamb was an essayist. Try is essay. It is it. Without means outside of in this instance. Source initially, the initial letter of source. Not fair. That could be unjust, or it could be a reference to brunette. Coach, being out of sight of the house. Gosh, this is slightly scary. 2 clues, and I've looked at both to no avail. Let me revisit 19 across. Presumptuous. I wonder if that's forward. Let me put it in and then have a look at the word play. President once, there was a President Ford, torn apart by conflict. Yes, Ford torn apart by the word war. Great, F must be a useful letter. Not fair. Coach, being out of sight of the house. I'm struggling to see what the definition is here. It looks like it begins off. Out of sight of the house. Let me consider this letter between S and A. And let me put off in because it strongly looks like it begins off. And off could mean not fair. Coach could be this, yes, coach is stage, as in stagecoach. Being out of sight of the house, well, the house is the audience at a play. So being out of sight of the audience is when you're off stage. Phew, that looked like it might be a particularly troublesome clue, but it has been resolved. Resentful. Granny finally hurt by current jibe. No idea. Dynamic type on radio in part of India. This is Goa. On radio is a homophone indicator, and a dynamic type is a Goa, spelt G-O-E-R, and that sounds the same as G-O-A, which is a part of India, a state on the west coast. Now, does this G help? Resentful. Grudging. Granny finally hurt by current jibe. Not getting that. Now, 7 down. Throw out. Injured member's supporter. This is sling. Double definition. To sling is to throw out, but it's also what you can put a broken arm in, and a member here is a reference to an arm or a leg, and in particular an arm. Combination of notes, one used in a form of jazz. This is triad. A triad is a combination of notes, of 3 notes, I think. One is I, used in a form of jazz. Well, trad is a form of jazz. 8 down, 17 minutes down. Old cow. Marshall observed at foot of tree. This is Alderney. So an Alderney must be an old cow. Marshall is a crossword chestnut. It refers to Marshal Ney, N-E-Y, from the Napoleonic Wars, I think. Observed or seen at foot of tree, at foot of alder, a type of tree. Share, drink, that's the thinking. Gosh, what is this? Yeah, phew, this is rationale. So share is ration, drink is ale, and that's the thinking. Well, rationale is the thinking behind a decision. So just 4 clues to go, and I need to check 5 down. Old woman ditches union leader getting shot. No, and it may be that 5 down is wrong. In run-down environment, finally keep fast. Wow. Run-down environment. I think finally keep could be a reference to the letter P. Yeah, this is speedy. So rundown is seedy. So in the environment of seedy, i.e. in the middle of it, we've got finally keep, the final letter of keep. That gives speedy, which means fast. Now, 1 more letter in, 17 down. Resentful. Indignant, possibly. Let me put it in and then have a look at the word play. Granny, finally. Well, granny is nan. Finally hurt is the final letter of hurt. By, or next to, current, in, as in trendy. And jibe, dig. Fantastic. Just 2 orphan clues to go, plus the explanation of 5 down, or the recheck of 5 down. Let me do my quick typo check. The crosses are looking good. Yep. And what about the downs? Yep, halfway through those, and they're fine. Okay, so 2 crosses to go. Jam ingredient. Originally exported in copper container. Surely, yes, this is pectin. Pectin is an ingredient used in jam to help the jam set, I think. Originally exported is the original letter of exported. In copper, in PC, copper here is a reference to a policeman in the United Kingdom, and PC is an abbreviation for a police constable, one of the ranks of police officer, and then container is tin. So 1 clue to go. Old woman ditches union leader getting shot, ? Old could be O, the abbreviation. Union leader could be the leading letter of union, which is U. So we're looking for a word meaning woman. Yeah, phew. So old is O, the woman is Pauline, just a woman's name. Ditches union leader, ditches U. That gives Paline, and opaline with the O. And opaline, I think, means like the gemstone opal. And I think you can describe gems as being shot when they have shots of colour in them. I'm confident this answer is right, even if my explanation may be slightly off. So every clue, every letter corroborated in mes demoiselle. But let me revisit the clue. Unusually is surely an anagram indicator for slim, models, C, and then E for English. 10, 11, 12, 13, that is the right number of letters. So slim, S-L-I-M. Models, a second M, an O, a first D. There are 3 E's altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me recheck that. Yes. L, 2 L's. Yes. S's, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I've checked every letter in this. So I'm going with this answer, or this solution. Every clue solved, every clue explained, no empty squares. Submit. Submit. Hope and pray. No errors. Fantastic. I was just thinking with 5 down that having checked all the letters, it may be that you could swap 2 of them around and get the right answer, but this was spooking me needlessly because it was the correct answer. Wow, what a beautiful puzzle. 23 minutes. Absolutely tremendous fun. Beautiful range of general knowledge and vocabulary, and just delightful clues. And it's the quality of the clues which really make the difference to a crossword solving experience. And the Times, and I think the Times pictures it just right. Well, in my opinion, the clues have a really good surface reading, which makes unpicking them particularly challenging and rewarding. So absolutely tremendous fun. I think the snitch for this probably in the 60s or 70s. Now, the Times is the hardest daily puzzle published, but the hardest crossword published is a weekly crossword called The Listener, which is also published in the Times after the Listener magazine folded back in the 1980s or 1990s. And you can enter the Listener crossword every week. And if you do so, one of the services offered by the Times is to keep stats on how accurate you've been. And I've just received my stats for last year. And there were 52 puzzles last year. I entered all of them. I got 51 correct, and I had 1 one crossword that I got wrong, and within that crossword there was just one clue that I got wrong, and I got that clue wrong by a single letter. So a single letter cost me an all correct solution. And I think it was just a really sloppy error. I entered Kauri, Kauri, instead of Kaari, and this is the clue in question. And the listener crossword always has a preamble with some instructions that you have to follow, and in this instance you had to remove one letter from the clue, which you had to work out which letter it was to leave a normal clue. And in this instance, for 37 across, the clue was crash in the Maldives starts to lift all auto risk insurance. And if you remove the R from crash, you get cash in the Maldives. That's the definition. And Lari is the monetary unit in the Maldives. And then the wordplay begins starts to, and if you take the initial letters of the following 5 words, you get Laari and not Lauri, which I entered. So that was my solitary blunder last year, which cost me an all correct year. And there's no particular big deal about an all correct year, but I think that it does have a certain amount of prestige attaching to it, and you do get to contribute to the choice of the best puzzle of the year. So if you look down the stats for the whole year, you can see that after puzzle number 4764, there were 61 all correct people. This is the final column. And then puzzle 4765, that drops to 60. Wow, that drop by 1 was me dropping off the all correct list. And as you can see, the all correct list continues to drop. And then with one crossword to go, it was down to 22. And then look what happens. On the final crossword of the year, somebody is wrong who has been all correct for the first 51. And they miss out on an all correct year by an error in the final puzzle. How agonizing that must be. And it's not the first time that has happened. But anyway, fantastic service providing these statistics by the Times. And I say by the Times, but it's really the Times publishes the listener, but the statistics are maintained by a gentleman called John Green, who does the most marvellous job of keeping all these statistics. So many thanks to John for the incredible work that he does, and it's great fun receiving the statistics each year and having a look down and seeing which puzzles were particularly problematic. So for example, you can see that the very first puzzle of the year, 27% of people got the answer, got the puzzle wrong. But many congratulations to the 21 who did have an all correct year. So that is the listener stats. Back to this puzzle, absolutely tremendous fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.